Hey, I'm Marina.
And I'm Emily.
And I've seen everything in the Sex and the City empire 10,000 times.
And I'm starting fresh.
So I'll be woman-splaining the show.
And I'm along for the ride.
But there's a twist. We are starting with And Just Like That and working our way back to the beginning.
So in other words, we're watching it backwards and in high heels.
This is City and the Sex. Welcome back. Did you like that?
That was good. That was good. You only have a couple more episodes left in this season to try and top those.
I know. I did realize in this moment, literally in this moment, that I used to start the podcast by making a sex noise. So
yeah.
I guess I'll start with...
well, who's to say that wasn't one?
Yo, exactly. Good job.
I got you.
Nice. Well, that's it, folks. Thanks for listening. Join our Patreon. No, I'm just kidding. Well, we are here today to discuss Sex and the City, Episode 5, Season 5, Episode 5. Heyo. +1 is the loneliest number. A long title.
Yeah, we're getting we're starting to get into like song title. You know those like song titles that are like, you know, woman at the bar on a Sunday morning or whatever.
Yeah.
Like Taking Back Sunday bullshit or Fall Out Boy where it's like a full sentence.
What was your one word for this episode?
Callback, but it's a kind of, I guess, a call forward because there were a lot of familiar faces in this episode for me coming from the future. So I was very excited about that.
Yes, yes. How very time travel of you.
Yeah.
My one word I'm going to say is romance, in that I think there's like a really romantic way they shot this episode. It feels much more, how can I say, sensationalized, escapist Sex in the City, like, than ever. Do you know what I mean? Like, even more than the Atlantic City episode. It's just like all the frames back to back. They're just like very dreamy, very pink frames. I don't know. It made me want to have a book party.
Yeah. Aw, yeah. The book party looked glam. I think this is like the first time with her job and the stuff we see it there, I'm genuinely like, this actually feels glamorous. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A man reached out to me on LinkedIn, and he definitely is a real person and not AI. And his whole message to me was, "Hey, Marina, have you thought about writing a book? Thanks." And I'm thinking
and so you took him up on this offer. Yeah.
Yeah. I watched this episode. I saw his message and I said, you know what? I am thinking about writing a book.
Thank you.
Man. He like looks like Paul. What's the lumberjack? He looks like Paul Bunyan also.
That rocks. I trust him.
LinkedIn is in a weird place lately. I hate to say it.
Weirder than normal.
Weirder than ever.
Okay, that's a tall order.
All right, well, let's get into it. This is Season 5, Episode 5. +1 is the loneliest number. We open on Carrie, and again, she's in this romantic sweep with the camera, and she's like in this kind of sort of like foyer ballroom looking space. And she says, you know, there is a day even the most cynical New York City woman dreams of all her life. And she's like describing this day as if it was like going to be her wedding. And then she says, the day she finally found a publisher, her book party. And I love that setup.
Yeah, this is good. We're already off to a good start. This is the Sex of the City I want.
And then it's immediately ruined by Anthony screaming, "White! I want white! WHITE white!" I'm like, yes, get him back in his element.
Yeah. I did think about this a lot with you being like, he used to have taste, he used to be this person, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Marina did warn me about this because all I've seen of him has been like snappy sidekick to a sidekick.
Yeah, exactly. Instead, you're like, wow, oh my God, he has power and he has taste. I love this little face-off he has with Samantha where he's like, I'm not scared of color. And then she's like, how about pink? Or he's like, how about pink? And she's like, hot pink. And he's like, pink! Love this man.
I love this, and I love his relationship with, like, the rest of the gang. You know what I mean? From what I can tell, Stanford is, like, not friends with the rest of them, but I like that he's able to, like, quit with them. That's great.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's a professional. But basically, you know, Carrie's like, who's even coming to this thing? And Samantha's like, everybody, you know, it's the hottest ticket in town. And then we end the scene with this little quip where like a big poster of Carrie's body and face is passing in front of her. And then she says, it's hard not to get a big head.
Cute.
So then we cut to Miranda at the office, and she brought one photo of her kid to work.
That's a nice acknowledgement of your son.
And that's all she's going to give us, though.
Yeah, no, I'll take what I can get.
And then we get like one of the weirdest voiceover sentences ever where she's like, Miranda was politically incorrectly happy to be there.
Yeah, I think I understand the joke we're going for, but it's awkward. But I think she's saying, like, she's happy to be at work because she doesn't have to take care of the baby.
Sure.
So that is politically incorrect, but yes, it's okay. Look, we already started with some good one-liners. We cannot, you know, continue on our record so far of batting 1,000.
You're right. We have to have some lows. I will say the number of I can have it all or have it all puns that are in this episode. Wow. Somebody count the number of times all is said in this episode.
Yeah.
It's said a lot.
That's they're going, that should be the name of this episode.
I can have a lot. Yeah. I wish they had. Anyway, Walker Lewis calls. I do love that he was the great sex BC before child. And Miranda just neglects to admit that she has a baby and decides to go on a date with him to Carrie's book party. Now, how do you feel about this?
About not telling him on the phone?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know what their relationship is, so maybe this is off. But if he was just like, I don't know, a random hookup from a while ago and is like, I'm in town, let's hook up again. You know, like if it's that kind of level of seriousness in history, I actually don't really see a problem with this, because it's like, you're only going to see him one night. You're going to go on a date with him. You don't like really need to share your business, but like it's kind of up to you. So I don't like hate that too much. If he's like an ex-boyfriend, I feel like this is a bigger deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he is just, first of all, I don't think we've ever seen this man, and we'll never see this man again. So okay. I think he is just there for his corporal offerings.
Okay.
But yeah, that was my thing when they all go in on her later, which we'll talk about, like being like, oh, how could you not tell him, or blah, 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 blah. I was like, I don't really feel that you have to if it's just, again, about corporal offerings, you know?
Yeah, right. Like, I don't know. It seems clear what his intentions are, which is to just hook up. And
bone.
So
yes,
that's her intentions. Well, like, he's not looking for more. So I don't really think you need to like tell him that your life has changed dramatically. I don't know. I'm with you on that.
Yeah. I think the girls are harsh on Miranda this episode, which I never say.
Well, someone has to be the bully pinata of every episode.
That is actually the Michael Patrick King secret, is that somebody has to be the bullied pinata. That's exactly how you put it. He calls it pie in the face, but really it's bullied pinata. And in this episode, we get several bullied pinatas, I would say.
Yeah, no one kind of comes out of this unscathed, maybe except for Carrie, arguably.
And they let her go this time because it's her book party.
Yeah.
So then we cut to Charlotte with some handsome blonde man making out outside her front door, and Miss Collier catches them. Ooh.
The fun neighbor from hell.
The fun neighbor from hell.
Housing drama.
We all know that co-ops are a nightmare.
It's just like apartment version of housing association, HOA kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like this at one time and in certain scenarios was sort of helpful, and now it's just there to be a pain in the ass.
Yep. And then it's just there to have old women be nightmares. Nightmares. It makes me laugh realizing now that Charlotte will be nailing the mezuzah to her door, and then this woman Charlotte will catch her, and then she'll be like, "I'm a Jew now." I think that really makes me laugh.
Yes.
And knowing that Bunny knows that.
Yeah, that she's like getting news and intel.
I would move out. I don't know.
I mean, this house is really nice.
I get it. But you could sell it and then buy another nice house on a different floor.
True. I mean, but co-ops are also a nightmare to buy and sell. That's the whole thing.
You're right. So I guess you just have to live with Miss Collier forever.
Yeah, you have to fight fire with fire.
So then we cut to Carrie with her publisher, and it's just Amy Sedaris this time. And she opens by saying, "Oh my God, people actually want to come to this thing," which
cool, thanks.
A pretty accurate portrayal.
Yep.
And then she says, "Everybody's coming, Condé Nast, GQ, actual straight men."
Just a funny thing to say about the magazine business, but anyway, carry on.
Rest in peace. And then we get the introduction, the first appearance of one Jack Berger.
This was a jump scare. Absolute jump scare. Because I remembered that they shared a publisher, only because you reminded me in the first Amy Sedaris episode or whatever. So, like, that was sort of fresh in my head. I completely forgot that they knew each other at the start of the season. Like, I don't remember how they met, but in my mind I was like, yeah, that was like an episode 2 thing, I guess. I don't know. But, like, totally forgot. So having him, I mean, the gasp, I gasped.
I forgot he was in this episode too. I mean, I remember that he's introduced in this season. But it is, I will say, a benefit, I guess, of this horrific experiment that we've started, that is this podcast, is like, it's normally when I watch the series in order, their meet cute here is really cute.
It is really cute. Yeah.
Having just seen what's coming, it's like horror strings.
Exactly. I was gonna say the same thing. I was like, on paper, it's cute enough that it's like, it's actually painful all over again, because you see why the attraction was there. Like, it's so obvious from just the beginning, their chemistry, and that, like, his negging is so charming to her. You know what I mean? Like, in his sort of whatever, in that kind of way. Or I was like, yeah, like, you sort of are reminded why they fit so well, and why you're like, oh, on paper, an author, like, sort of makes sense, and whatever. But there are these little sprinkles of hints of what's to come, right? Like the negging, right? There's little sort of self-deprecating things that are sprinkled in that right now she's like laughing and giggling at, but like horror strings is exactly right. Where it's like, this whole scene feels different, even though the like cutesy music is playing, you're just kind of like, oh, like I'm sinking into my couch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And so they, especially when the opening line is like, Amy explains like, oh, he just published his book with us. Like, he's one of our writers. And then, she's like, when are you going to get me, that assignment? And he's like, my suicide note.
Yeah. the chill. But she like smiles, you know what I mean? It's crazy. It is so crazy the way that you just like, genuine chills, but she just kind of like goes, yeah, and like twirls her hair,
And then he's like, do you want to save the date? Oof. Oof. And then I do love that he's like, he's like, oh, you guys don't have the same market or whatever. And he's like, right, because my market's my immediate family. Oof. It's just like I'm just like getting like, I'm getting the dog pile on the football field. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like with every insult, I'm like, God, he just really exposes himself here like bear. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yes, completely. I'm trying to view it from the proper context, right? Of like, this is a totally new person and we're supposed to be like charmed. And also it's like in isolation, that is a joke. I don't think we would have made a suicide joke or whatever, but I feel like that's a joke that we would have made like in isolation of the sort of like,
Sure.
And our moms won't even listen to our podcast.
Sure,
you know
sure.
Like, but it's just the steady stream of comments, and it has like slightly darker annotations. That's enough. It's just enough to give you the sprinkle of what's to come. I think it's really good. And it also just really makes me appreciate the Burger arc again, all over again, because he's like, even in this moment, I can tell they know exactly where it's going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fully realized. It's not like a case of we introduce, you know, the love interest, and then we know that we have to have these characters break up, so we're going to have a 180 on their personality and have a crazy conflict that sort of comes out of nowhere. This feels very well set up and established.
Yeah, I mean, what's your book? Half off? Oof. Although I think the most harrowing sentence of all is he wrote a comic novel that speaks to men, like how your column speaks to women. Oof.
Yeah, oof.
So what you're alleging is that Burger invented the manosphere.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, my God, Burger.
I hope so.
He would be the evil podcaster. He would be the other... He'd be like our Wario.
Yes, he is our Wario.
He's, yeah, well.
Crooked mustache and all. So then we cut to Carrie and Burger at the park. And again, it's just like filmed very like sweet, you know, like the lush green. It's like so, you know, springtime New York. I did laugh here. They're making fun of how books are written, being like, the woman wondered. And I was like, don't the woman.
So funny. So funny now.
It's funny to me that here they're making fun of how books are written, and then they'll just actually do that. Just like that.
Mm-hmm. And they'll be like, this is really good. And we're going to have a character in universe say, this is amazing.
Sad.
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 How we've fallen.
Then they have a whole like repartee about crotch. You know, he's like, I got to get my crotch loosened. And she's like, you're saying a crotch to me on our first date? And then he's like, long in the sleeve, which I did not understand that reference, but whatever. Something about his crotch being too small and too big, I guess.
The joke is like, he's talking about like the clothes not fitting or whatever. So he's trying to find like a more tame, he's like, oh, it's too long in the crotch, but like jokingly, he's not being literal. So she's like, you said crotch? And he's like, I don't know, the sleeves are too long, you know, or whatever. But it's still, she loves the crotch joke, even though she was like, how dare you? She like, is like giggling, you know what I mean? She's eating it up.
She's drinking him like soup. She's tasting him like the Mickey D's strawberry milkshake.
Yeah.
Product placement, I guess. McDonald's sponsored this show. Several mentions.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know that for a fact. I'm just alleging.
But, yeah. It's just, we're just spreading libel? Slander? All of it.
Slander. David Pecker. I can't believe I mentioned him twice this season. Okay. Shows you what I was doing in 2017. Okay. I like how he's like, only child drinks strawberry.
Yes. Oh my God. Of all his like little icky things that he said so far, this was the thing where I like wrote it down, where I was like, the negging has really started. Like he's already started to kind of put her down. You know what I mean?
For a man who will write a grown woman in a scrunchie, I'm like, okay, well, explain that one to
like,
me.
This weird childlike thing. It's like, all right, we're already off to the races. Again, I hate him, but I love the writing for him because I love to hate him.
Yes, exactly. And so Carrie goes on to say, it was one of those great first dates when you don't know that it's a first date. And then we learn his little quirk that he collects playing cards off of the street and that he's making a deck. I don't know if you ever noticed. I don't think I pointed it out. But when we do see his apartment later, he has a cork board full of cards that are pinned to it.
Oh, now that you say that, that is coming back to me. I can't remember if we actually mentioned it on the pod or something, but that just triggered a memory. It's funny how he says this also like it's a universal thing. He's like, you just got to pay attention. They're all over New York. It's like, all right. It feels like the, have you seen the graffiti of the like at 7 Souls Deep or whatever it is.
Yes. Who is that? Who are they?
It's Burger.
Yeah, I was going to say 7 souls deep is way more common than a playing. I don't think I've ever seen a playing card.
No. Like, is the Riddler out? Like,
yeah.
Who's leaving, like,
I don't know. I'm like,
cards?
They must have been really bored before phones that people are just walking around with a deck of cards and losing
just in case,
cards.
Yeah, in case anyone wants to like go fish on Lexington Avenue.
But then Carrie invites him to her book party, and we find out that dun, he has a girlfriend. That's right. He dumps her right before Carrie.
Yeah, I could tell. That she was not long in the past. Oh, what a mess. And it's already not good. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. He doesn't say anything negative about her, but it's already, this is not good.
I love this man. Okay. So Carrie's at brunch with the girls, and she's basically like, how could he not tell me? And Samantha, I think, brings up the good point, which is like, I hate it when men are just like, I have a girlfriend. It's like, can I just sit here? Charlotte's like, he's a jerk. And then Carrie starts thinking, I wonder how happy they are. Great reading, I would say, from SJP on that.
Yeah.
I also want to point out this is one of the famous Carrie outfits, capital FCO, where it's just like pants, a nightie, and a bra that's fully out.
God, I'm so like numb to these things. I don't even remember the bra being out.
Yeah, it's like her bra is like fully out, and then she's wearing this like nightie, flimsy nightie as a top.
Okay.
And it's like one of those outfits that like if you Google like Carrie ridiculous outfit, it's like one of the top hits.
Yeah.
Because her bra is just out. Like where the chemise starts for the night dress or whatever, like the bra is just out.
Okay.
Because those things are built to have your boobs drop, not to have your boobs up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, so Miranda quips, that all the good ones are taken. And then Samantha's like, no, all the good ones are coming to your party. We get a little weird bit here where that comes up a couple times in the episode where Carrie's like, when I'm so in love, I don't even remember what they look like, if they were cute or not. It's just a feeling. And I was sort of like, okay.
Is that true with what we've seen from Carrie before?
Yeah.
She doesn't notice if they're cute?
I don't know. She did freak out over that pigeon guy, remember?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I think she does factor in if they're cute or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I think she just forgot because Berger is so nondescript.
Yeah, okay.
And she's made a romantic reasoning for it.
And then Samantha said, Samantha's trying to get her excited about the book party. The only person trying to exhibit this futile attempt at support. And she offers, we should get a mani-pedi Botox. And Miranda says, you say that as if we all just do that. And Samantha says, everybody will. And that was harrowing because that is true.
Yeah, and they're doing that 10 years younger than what she's doing right now.
Yeah, exactly. Isn't that wild?
It was grim.
It was grim. That's how I would describe this podcast, is me going, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Going, yeah, that actually made me really sad. That's, I would say, our stock answer on everything. I had a boss once who is a famous TV anchor, and every time he couldn't think of something to say, he would go, fascinating. And I feel like that's your and my fascinating for this
when
show.
Someone says something like that, is to go, that's crazy, or yeah, that's grim. It's I don't actually have more words to describe it yet, so that's just what I'm going with.
But Samantha says, I'll be your plus one. And then we get into the whole thing where Miranda admits that she didn't tell this fuck buddy that she had a baby. And there's actually a really sad moment in here where she's like, if I didn't have a baby, this is the kind of guy I would be dating. So I kind of want to live that fantasy. And the way that they're like, you're dumb, tell him. It's the way that Charlotte comes in, again, mean Charlotte. Making an appearance. The way that she goes in on her and gives her the whole reality check where it's like, okay.
This is such a vulnerable thing for Miranda to share.
We're getting a little aggro about this mom stuff, okay? It
Yeah.
feels like you're into being a mom when it's convenient. And then when people are actually struggling to be a mom, you're like, shut up.
Right, you're like, how dare you? I feel like Miranda becomes bully pinata for the episode when somehow whenever she is like in her feelings about motherhood. That is when they all like gang up on her. And to your point, it's like Charlotte should be like pro mom whatever, but it's like she has to be mom in the right way. And if she's not, she's bully pinata. So
yeah.
Anytime she's like, oh, I'm feeling sort of sad, we're left out for motherhood, they're like, let's make you feel worse and like kick her out of an event.
Let's dump on you. Yeah, it is wild. It is wild. And we'll get into the brainwashing at the end of the episode.
Yeah, good.
But anyway, so we cut to Carrie walking and columning. We get one of the famous columns here, which is that it feels like every woman in New York is looking for either a job, a boyfriend, or an apartment. Which, true. Truer words ne'er spoken.
That's not, is it from Sex and the City? Because I've definitely heard that before elsewhere.
I'm not fluent in my dramaturgy, but I'm willing to bet that it is from this episode.
Yeah, I love that. Again, also, maybe you should have been the title of the episode somewhere, because that feels like the theme of like having it all.
Job, boyfriend, apartment. I do like that better than 1+1 is the loneliest number. I'm like, I don't even know how to fit that on the thumbnail for this damn pod. Spent an hour on Canva the other day. Like, how am I going to fit this? Anyway, she says, why does the one thing you don't have make you feel like affect how you feel about the other things that you do have? And then she says, why does 1 minus a +1 feel like it adds up to 0? Maybe because it does?
Yeah, well, I mean, Carrie, I don't know if her math is seen as her strong suit, but that was a really funny line of why does 1 plus like -1 equal 0? It's like, well, if you have 2 apples.
If you have 2 apples and then you subtract. I guess because it's +1, so it's then 2 minus 1 is really still 1, but really 0. I don't know, but I don't want to be doing math. I don't want to be doing math. But then we cut to Samantha getting injectables and her doctor, is that what I call him? I don't know. It's not a plastic surgeon. Dermatologist? Man with glasses.
Yeah, the guy in a white coat.
The dude suggests a freshening chemical peel, which I do feel like this is my favorite sort of 90s trope. Is like woman scares people with chemical peel.
Yeah. It's true.
Bring back that trope. I miss that trope.
Yeah, that was good. It's like chemical peel or like cupping.
Yeah.
Like, just like marks on body.
Marks on body. It's kind of like how we used to make fun of Botox like they do in this episode, and now we don't because everybody has it. It's like, bring that back.
Yeah.
But we get this great scene where we see her come out from the back and a child sees her and screams. Mm-hmm. And then we get this like Frankenstein monster reveal that's like her, face. And Carrie has the line, she seemed to have it all peeled off. Excellent. You laughed. You're laughing.
The makeup looks gnarly, can I say?
Yeah. They did a good job.
They had fun. They had fun with that.
Yeah. I'm like, I wonder if it's a combination of just like pink red and then like maybe they made like a liquid thing that kind of pulls at her skin a little bit, like
to make it like tight and shiny,
to make it like a peel kind of thing, Yeah. It looks really good. So Carrie is at a restaurant with a magazine, preparing to eat alone. But then Enid walks in, and this is when I got confirmation that you have not seen the episode where Enid is introduced. So I was like, phew, okay. This is not her introduction.
Okay.
But she's there to eat alone too. And so they decide to eat alone together in one of the most awkward ways of all time.
Is there ever an interaction with Enid that is not horribly awkward?
I mean, I feel that she has always, will always, and forever will despise Carrie. Like, it's like Carrie thinks this is my mentor, and Enid thinks, dear God, this is who I'm left with.
And that's so sad also that Enid is like the mentor to Carrie in any capacity. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like there's just such a difference. There's such a difference in lifestyle between them and like outlook, I feel, that this is the person that Carrie has to like look up to and work with. I mean, everything about it is just like so wrong. This is terrible. I think Enid frightens me, and I cannot tell if it is because she as a person frightens me or because I know when she's on screen I'm in for watching a train wreck in slow motion between her and Carrie. Maybe it's a mixture of both.
Maybe it's a mixture of both. Yeah. Enid, I was sitting here being like, Enid sort of is like the extreme of what a Samantha could become, But then I was sitting here and I'm like, actually, Enid might actually be the extreme of what a Carrie could become, like as demonstrated in this episode, which is like so desperate to have a man still, but like unwilling to have them in their life that they'll do ridiculous things to make it happen.
Yeah.
Whereas like Carrie wants a man and, as we know, often prioritizes a man. And so in that way, she's different from Enid because Enid prioritizes her work. But yeah, gotta love her. Gotta love her. I can't say a negative thing about her. What I can say a negative thing about is that they go out to a restaurant to both eat salads.
Yeah, what are we doing?
They're like, can't you make it at home?
What a waste. Yeah. What a waste.
Like, and then I was like, oh, I guess Sweet Green doesn't exist yet, so you can't get a slop bowl. But that was in the back of my mind where I was like, okay, you went out and tipped a waiter for a salad. Can't relate. In the economy of 2026, I can't relate.
This is the real sign of the times, of the like economy that they're living in, is that they went out to a New York meal and tipped the waiter for that very sad looking plate of salad. Both of them.
And then we get a little quip here that they had run out of convo by the time that they got to their salad, and Carrie's like trying to start something, and Enid is giving her nothing, and then Carrie at a certain point is like, you gotta give me something.
Yeah.
She's like, and she says, you seem to have it all. And then we learn that Enid admits to having it all on the Upper East Side because her man has another woman on the Upper West Side, and the park is a buffer where neither woman shall cross. And I was like, what is this?
I know. It's like a folkloric tale.
Yeah.
It's like neither will cross the border.
I'm like, there's a part of me that's like, I hope this still happens in this city.
Is having your lady on the east side and then your other lady on the west side. Yeah.
I mean, I wish it on no one, but I hope that it happens.
For the whimsy.
For the whimsy. I feel like this is what people think New York is from their homes. Do you know what I mean? Like when they've never been to New York City and they're like, those men out there, they've got one woman on the east side, one woman on the west side. You're like, you know how many taxes and condos you got to pay to maintain that?
Yeah, exactly. We're in the 1% now.
And then Enid gives us maybe our most grim statement of the whole episode, which is, you can have it all. The secret to having it all is basically to lower your expectations and to realize that none of it is going to be what you expected it to be.
Yep, that's Enid.
That's Enid. But then we cut to Charlotte having sex.
Okay.
High note. Cut to Charlotte having sex with this man, and we learn that she even lets him sleep over. And then horror strings. There's a knock at the door, and then the door starts unlocking.
A nightmare.
And it's Bunny just walking in, showing up, being like, what are you doing here? Ms. Collier told me that you had a gentleman caller, and the doorman tells me that he hasn't left yet.
Terrifying.
This
is terrifying. And just also, listeners, this is my first introduction to Bunny McDougal, but I did know who she was before this because of her Baldur's Gate series. Check us out on YouTube. But this is my first introduction to her in this show, which, like, again, I'm yelping, I'm screaming, I'm gasping when she comes to that door. I mean, it was like, it was just a rotation of all of the characters that freak me out in different ways. Burger, Enid, and now Bunny McDougal.
Bunny
you know what
McDougal.
I mean? Everyone is raising my blood pressure.
Yeah, this is definitely a House of Horrors episode.
Yeah.
I will say we did see her once before in the divorce when she's refusing to let Charlotte get this apartment, and then Trey has to call and be like, Mom, stop, just give it to her.
Whoa, okay.
But did I spoil that? No,
it
happened.
Doesn't get divorced.
We saw the divorce because she got together with Okay. I never said any of that. I never said any of that. We're not cutting any.
I didn't hear any of that. I didn't hear any of that.
Yeah, I guess you're right. She's not in season 6 at all because season 6
starts with Charlotte starts it divorced and changing her name on the door.
Right.
Or season 5, excuse me. And then season 6, Harry's already in the picture.
And Harry's already in the picture. And then she's converting and then they break up. Mm-hmm. Oh, so you did not see the divorce proceedings yet. Okay, well, as I said,
she gets divorced. Yeah.
As I said, I'm like fidgeting with my hands on my button out of anxiety. As I said, ignore everything that I said. And yes, this is your introduction to Bunny McDougal. And isn't she scary?
Look, again, as first introductions go, this is the most terrifying way to be introduced to Bunny McDougal, is the, like, horror zoom on the doorknob turning. And her just walking into the house and being like, I heard from all the people in this building that you have a man in here. Like, that is terrifying. Yeah. I already know that she's supposed to be mother-in-law from hell, whatever. But this was like, I was like, oh geez, a new villain, a new challenger has approached.
And now you know why I made her a witch.
Now I understand why she's a witch and why she's iconic.
I love how they have this little dance fighting over the flowers. Like, she arranges it one way and then Charlotte like arranges it the other way. And then Charlotte says, well, Trey gave me this apartment. And Bunny says, well, it's not his to give. Excuse me. And then the Bunny McDougal says out loud, and you're still married. And then the guy walks up and he's like, you're married? And then she's like, we're getting divorced. And then she starts pushing Bunny McDougal out. And Bunny McDougal drops the line, don't you hustle me out. This is Chanel. And then storms off. I mean,
such a good villain.
I've said this too many times this episode. You gotta love her.
Yeah.
You can't fight her.
We love the villains on these shows. Like, we love them.
They're too good.
They are too good. They are too powerful.
See, the problem is that in And Just Like That, they think a villain is Bitsy Von Muffling, who here is just kind of like a random side character, when like a real villain is like a bunny.
Yeah. And then they're like, the worst someone can be is annoying.
Right.
So, like, Bitsy is annoying. The Gen Zers are annoying.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's why we loved Wyatt so much. And Lily.
Real
like, I want villainy.
Yes, exactly. So then we get Carrie at home. She's signing her book, and Charlotte reveals that her +1 will be Anthony because her hot guy, I guess, was like, this is too weird for me, which relatable. Then Stanford calls and he says he's bringing Marcus, and he's sort of showing off that he has a +1 for once. By the way, a man who you will see is a chronic loner. So it's like, maybe we just let him have this as opposed to bullying him about it. But again, bully pinata. So, he says like, you sound a little jelly. And then he finds out that Anthony is going to be there. And so he's like, can't wait to show off to Anthony that he has a boy toy. And he's like, I do have it all. There is a pretty despicable line here where Carrie says, because Carrie was expecting him to be her +1. And so she says, the gay guy is a single gal's safety net. Lock her up.
No.
Didn't age well.
She dropped the F-bomb, the other F-bomb last episode, right? She like called him that. And now she's like, but you're my purse.
Yeah, exactly.
Girl, come on.
Poor Stanford. And then Samantha calls and she tries to cancel because of her peel. And Carrie's basically like, no, you have to come. You promised me you'd be your +1, and I want to see a familiar face. We get this like really great comedy edit back to Samantha looking in the mirror, being like, like just like kind of pushing her hair out of frame because her face is not familiar. And then she says, okay, I'll be there. And then we get this great moment where she like puts these big earrings on in an attempt to kind of like maybe camouflage her face. And then she just kind of screams a little bit.
Yeah, in pain. Oh. For
Phenomenal.
a fun, silly plot, this is good. Like she's having fun.
This is great. And then we get to the book party and it's amazing. I love the bar that's just like all cosmos.
Yeah.
Like that's the party I want.
Oh, absolutely.
It's ruined by Carrie in this ugly dress with a corsage.
As she must, though. She just can't help herself.
She can't help herself. Then I think we get an actual celebrity cameo here from a Harold Keegan of The New Yorker. I didn't bother to look him up, so.
All right, well, I'm excited for him.
He seems happy to be here.
He seems happy.
And then Samantha shows up looking like an extra on Death Becomes Her.
Very funny.
With, the veil.
Yes.
And I like how Carrie's like, why are you hiding? Take the veil up. And she shows her face, and Carrie, gasps. Harold Keegan, I think, is also there and also gasps. And then I don't know if Carrie says this to her or if it's a voiceover, but it's a +1 -1 layer of skin. Again, we're just like going in on this woman.
Yep.
And then she introduces herself to Harold Keegan being like, I got a chemical peel. I'm Carrie's publicist. And Carrie has a whole meltdown being like, can you not say those things side by side?
So don't yell at her. She's doing her best.
And then she insults her further by saying, you look like beef carpaccio. Veil down, I think.
Yeah.
Vicious.
What did she do to deserve this?
I'm like, she told you she didn't want to come.
Yeah, and you dragged her out, and she showed up looking like this, clearly about to get incredibly infected for you.
Then she shocks Stanford and Marcus, who walk in, and they're also like, ew. And then Marcus has this awkward moment when he's like, when I had my nose job, I stayed inside for a month. And I think this is to show that he's stupid.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? It's charming. It's fine.
It's fine.
I'll allow it.
So then Charlotte tries to defend herself to Anthony about why she didn't tell the guy that she was getting divorced, that she was still married or whatever. And Anthony's now giving her the fact check, being like, well, you just wanted to get laid. And it's like, wouldn't it be nice if she said something like that to Miranda full circle? No.
See, that would have been nice and would have, had a friend apologize to the other friend. But we can't do that when we're doing Bully Pinata episodes.
No, we can't. Nuh-uh. So then Stanford shows up and he's just like pushing Marcus onto Anthony, and Anthony could care less. He's like, oh, how long have you two been together? And Stanford's like, oh, 4 months. And then Anthony's like, shrimp. And then I love how he's like, we're looking into buying a house in the Hamptons. And then Anthony's like, this coconut shrimp is really good. And then he just says like, he has a large penis. Then Anthony just walks away.
This is so sad. I feel like this is the most I've seen from Stanford so far. I've seen him a bit in the next season, but every time I see him, he's like pitiful. And I'm like, you know what? I see what you mean where you're like, we need to give him this. You know what I mean? Like, we need to let him have this because I can see that he's a pitiful figure. Yeah. Did he and Anthony used to date? Like, why is he trying to make him jealous? Should I know this?
So there is an episode that we have not seen where Charlotte, I don't remember who starts it, if it's Carrie or Charlotte, but one of them like sets them up on a blind date and it goes very ill. It does not go well. And so Stanford's like forever pissed that like Anthony looks down on him. And then they get married. So you know that.
Right.
I know Manelli's there.
Yeah. I remember the Manelli. I remember the single ladies dance. Yes.
Yeah. So on one reading, you're like, this could be romantic tension, but really it's just that Stanford's like pissed that Anthony like, because remember he calls him like Charlotte's like little bitch boy or whatever. He's like really bitter that Anthony basically didn't think he was like good enough for him, kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah. I see.
But I hate to be that person, but I mean, I'll tell you, like Stanford only gets more pathetic from here for you on the rewind.
Dear.
So
oh no, Marina.
Let me just put it this way. Somebody's got to test out online dating in 1990.
No, Stanford. Oh, protect him.
Just wait till you hear his screen name.
Oh my God. Keep going, and that's all I'm going to be thinking about in the background.
Yeah, that's all you have to look forward to.
Okay.
And then we get the best button of all time, which is Charlotte being like, so where are you looking in the Hamptons? Girl, wake up.
Flew right over that head.
Then we have Miranda making out with the guy, and she tells him, I have to tell you something. I have a baby, which, boo. Why? And he immediately like makes it weird.
Well, yeah, I mean, he actually, his first response I would say is reasonable, which is to be like, wait, is it mine? Because like, yeah, why would you be telling him this? You know what I mean? If he's like some random guy that you hook up with sometimes and he's like happens to be in town tonight, like why would you be like, I have a baby? I also would be like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Why are you fine?
And then I love how he's like, whew, okay. I'm not good with kids. Love him.
We love
him.
We love a direct man, no matter what he's direct about.
He's hot. He's direct. What more do you want? So Miranda actually has like such a redeemable, sexy moment here, where she's like, "No, like just put the baby aside." And let's focus on what we were going to originally do, which is screw each other's brains out. Like, I'm a woman who deserves to be fucked, regardless of whether I have a child.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like clapping. And then I'm realizing, oh no, I'm clapping for a main character. And then I turn around and Michael Patrick King is there. and he punches me in my face. That happened. I'm going on record. He's in my living room. I go, Michael Pat, and before I can get it out, he punches me in my face. and I turn and I hold my face. I'm like, oh my God. And then I look and he's gone. And then the scene is playing out. And I'm like, oh. Fell for it again.
How does he keep doing this?
I don't know, man, but I was like,
oh my God.
I gotta change the locks again.
It's crazy that he keeps finding a way into your apartment.
Pulling a bunny.
Yeah, pulling a bunny. And it's crazy he keeps assaulting you, but there's nothing we can do about it because he disappears so fast. And then I think I heard him being like, don't ruin my Chanel on the way out. Yeah. And I was like, me ruin your Chanel? I just want Miranda to have a good moment. And then I looked at the window and he was there. And he was making like a throat cutting gesture. And I was like, oh my God. And then he was gone. Anyway. Okay, but did you give him your business card in case he wants to work with you?
Yeah. No, writing sample, the whole thing. All 33 pages. All 33 pages. They say a half-hour comedy should be 33 pages. All 33 pages.
All 33 pages.
Yeah. Resume, headshot.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
I did. I was noticing that your makeup was particularly thick on one side of your face. Now I understand why. But also, more importantly, I'm glad you got your packet to him.
Yes. I did it. I'm going to be working on the comeback. No, I wish. But... yeah, that's what he did literally. Metaphorically is what happened in the show, which is that Miranda decides to take this man back to her apartment. Why? I don't know.
I don't know.
Mistake number one. I'm like, Magda's working till midnight, getting paid extra. You are boning at this man's house.
Thank you. I was going to say, we even have a line acknowledging that the baby is taken care of and, like, plans were made. She's like, I booked Magda for this night for the party. I'm free. That's going to be great. Like, it's said explicitly. Why would you go back home?
I don't know. Why
would you do this?
Party? Oh, so sad. And so they're doing it, and the baby starts crying. And then she's like, Mommy's coming. And then he rightfully so is like, I am leaving right now.
Again, an only reasonable man. I just can't get mad at that guy.
This might be my favorite boyfriend. I'm going to declare it. This is my favorite boyfriend.
Yeah. I like this take. This is a good take.
And then she says, can I come first? And he sort of is like, no.
He's like, it's over.
He's like, no. So then she goes to check on presumably he's left, and then she goes to check on the baby, and obviously Brady then stops crying, and she's like, oh, now you stop. And then there's this, like, again, romantic, dreamy way that they shoot this, where she, like, picks him up, and she's like, here we are. And then basically Carrie's like, and she resigned to being a spinster mother, as she should.
It's so bad, Marina. I was like, yeah, boo them.
I get what they're saying, which is like, you know, Miranda's mantra up until now has been like, nothing's going to change. My life isn't going to change. And as we know, regardless of efforts, your life does adjust somewhat to having a baby, right? That is inevitable. However, if she had better friends, maybe it wouldn't need to be adjusted this much. And maybe if she figured out a proper nanny plan, it wouldn't need to adjust this much.
Yeah, it's like I like that you said that, because that is actually a really good point, that there's something nice thematically here about, like, you can't pretend that your life hasn't changed when it's inconvenient to you. It has changed. Let it change you. I like that. I'm behind that. I'm sad, though, that they put that up next to, and you have to give up these things that, like, make you happy. Do you know what I mean? And, like, I'm fine with, I don't need my show to just be like, and women can also magically have it all. Ha ha ha. Like, I'm fine to see that there's a struggle between balancing this, but I don't like that the ending is implying that, like, you need to make a decision, and the correct quote unquote decision is, like, picking the baby in the scenario. You know, it just sort of implies of the, like, that trying to sleep with this guy or date the guy is almost like in denial bad behavior kind of thing, which is like, I don't know if I'm behind that. You know what I mean? I totally agree. It is way harder to date when you're a single mom taking care of a baby, and we should see that. We should see your struggle with it, you know, whatever. I totally agree. I get that. But, like, why does the ending have to be like, and so, because it's hard, give up your men and give up your sex life and go pick your baby and you'll be happy about it, you know? It's like icky.
I almost feel like if they had even ended it with, like, for now, you know, like with the thing about, like, babies are obviously the most, I mean, children are always tender, right? But, like, from 1 to 5, it's like they're really depending on you for their survival, you know? Yeah. And then once 5 comes, they're, like, going to school. They're, like, a little bit more autonomous. Again, they are children, but, like, they're not like a baby that cannot speak and cannot communicate. You know what I mean? Like, and so I feel like if they had even had some sort of thing of, like, for now, this wasn't going to work out, you know, something maybe a little more hopeful. I feel like they thought it was really transformational change to, like, and she's accepting now. But I'll never forget how Samantha rushed her into that cab.
Yeah, I'm still reeling from that. How she rushed her into that cab, and then, like you said, Carrie went to her apartment to make her feel better and was like, no, we can't talk, you're a mom now, and then left.
Yeah.
Sad. I don't like it.
Sad. Then she ends up with Steve. Yay! Okay.
And then Brady grows up into what we know Brady to be.
Yay! So then we cut to Carrie, Enid, and Isaac Mizrahi. Yay! I like how he is the same exact man today that he is in this cameo.
Good for him.
Good for him. I like how he's like, books are making a comeback.
I love the optimism.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So, he says goodbye, and then Carrie's like, oh, Enid, like, was this worth coming downtown for? And she's like, yes. And we're like, oh, that was almost a nice moment.
Almost.
And then Carrie has a voiceover line that's like, who needs a date, when I can have cake and eat it too? And she like gets one of the last cakes that they're like handing out as part of her party. And then dun 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 dun. Burger shows up.
No.
Leaving
I thought
his
we put
girlfriend.
garlic on the door.
Leaving his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think he told the fucking girlfriend?
They were probably just having a fight, and he said, I need some air. And then he left the apartment and ended up here. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. He shows up. He's like, you look great. Then he does the covert neg where he's like, my book party could have fit in the coat check of your book party.
Here we go. Yeah.
Like, just let her have it.
Yep.
And then he's like, good luck with your book. And then he just leaves.
Weird.
What tantrum do you think he threw after this?
What tantrum?
Well, because, every time she like does something to outshine him, he like
gets upset
and has a tantrum. Like, do you think he just like went on his motorcycle and like rode to Salem?
Yeah, he rode to, didn't last time he like went to the Hamptons to like clear his head? Like this is him getting on the bike and going to the Hamptons to clear his head.
Yeah. He's like, I wish I had Cosmos at my book party.
Stupid. God, I hate it. I hate that he's like keeping her in the orbit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got to like plant those seeds because just in case I break up with my girlfriend.
Ew.
Ew.
So then Carrie, Charlotte, and then we have a surprise reveal from Samantha are all at the bar together. And, they're all still taken aback by Samantha's face. And then she says, the waiter shooed me away from the buffet. And then she says, can I go home now? And Carrie's like, yes. And then she says, I wouldn't go out like this for anyone other than you. And Carrie's response is, yes. And I have to live with that. Prison. Another argument, by the way, that could have caused their separation in Aunt just like that. I'll say it.
Yeah,
I'll say it.
She gets away with this because she says it as a joke, but we just saw in the previous episode when she tries to like joke her way through an argument, it like can be actually kind of infuriating. So like, thank God Samantha's like in on the joke and takes it on the chin. I would not. I would be furious if my friend begged me to come out like this, and then I came out like that, and she was like, and I think Samantha goes like, can I go home? And Carrie goes, please, I beg you. And it's like,
God.
Oh, I'm walking into traffic.
Yeah, no. Let me tell you right now, I would do this for you.
Marina.
I'm hearing silence. What are you going to say back?
Of course I would do this for you. I also feel like I have done this for you at some point. Because you actually have shows and things. Because I do have more like opportunity to do this for you.
That is true, yes. I am more demanding of my friends. So
everyone should also follow Marina on Instagram.
MarinaDI.NYC. It sounds like MarinaDI.NYC. Plug. Yes. That is how I am, Carrie.
Yeah. Then you.
But know that if you had something and I did a chemical peel right before, I would be there as well.
I know you would be. And also, you would be there in a veil that, like, looks really good. Like, you would do the Death Becomes Her thing.
Yes.
And people would be like, slay.
Yes, I'm wearing a phantom mask.
Yeah.
And I'm not answering questions.
It's so good because you can get away with that. And what does that say about you? Is that you can show with that and they're like, yeah. Everyone in the party's like, mm-hmm.
And I'm going, where is your table?
Yeah.
That's me.
She's in the walls.
She's in the walls. No. Okay. So where were we? bullying Samantha. Okay,
bullying
that's
Samantha.
done.
Yes. Mocking her to her face.
Then Charlotte says, my +1 dumped me for some shrimp. And then Carrie's like, I had to let him go, right? I guess implying that she was going to make out with Berger over that dumb, like, oh, hope your book gets sold conversation.
Right. Let him go is doing a lot of heavy lifting. Let him go.
Also, you haven't seen this, but it has been heavily implied many times that she was a cheater in the previous season. So it's like, we're going to cheat again? You're going to be the other woman again? Ew. She's an anti-hero. Okay. And then, she sort of is like, Charlotte sort of ponders out loud, like, I think sometimes people avoid saying certain things when they don't like how they sound. Like, I'm getting a divorce. And then Carrie's like, I'm lonely.
Thank you. So funny. So funny.
Wow, not equitable. Okay. Yay. That's my mom has cancer. Yeah, well, I got a cough. That's that.
Yeah.
That's
so it's so funny. It's like she has enough self-awareness to preface it when she does it to Samantha in the next season, where she's like, I know you just said you have cancer, but guys, I'm having boy trouble. Like, she at least has the shame to like set it up. This is so funny because it's like, so, and then obviously Charlotte being like, oh.
Yeah, of course, immediately pivoting, being like, you're not lonely. And like, you can tell it's supposed to be a dramatique moment from SJP, and you're like, yes. No, this should be funny. This is silly.
Yeah, this should be a laugh line. You know what I mean? We should get like a funny reaction shot between, you know what I mean?
Instead, we get the music goes from slow and romantic. I don't know if you heard this. It literally like winds up to comedy music, and then Enid gets the comedy moment.
Weird.
Flies in and says, you invited Cliff, my Cliff? And Carrie's like, from Primetime Sports? And then she goes, yes, that's my man. And Carrie's like, wait, we're downtown. Is that a problem? And we get this, again, fun New York thing where she's like, I don't know, downtown, they've got names for streets. It could be anything.
Yeah. She's like, we're under Houston.
Yeah.
I don't know where I am.
And then Carrie says, I'm so sorry. Charlotte's like, who was that? She's like, my role model.
Sad.
And then Carrie has a line saying, the most together woman can't even keep it together in love. And she says that she was all raw and exposed.
It's weird. I feel like that was a line that joke is for Samantha. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is weird. While we're watching her like creep up the stairs like a gremlin. This is such a weird comedy beat. So weird.
Very strange. I don't know why we couldn't have an earnest moment here, but fine. I think because they wanted to give Carrie the ultimate earnest moment in the next scene, so they like couldn't let her have it here. I don't know.
Okay. Can I also say, like, coming through this backwards, like, Enid, it's so funny to hear you say that she's the role model, and Carrie be like, oh, that's the person who has it all. And I'm like, all I have seen of Enid is her being like, Carrie, you're stealing my men. And then in this one being like, crawling up, hiding from her men. I've only seen her in like pitiful situations. I have yet to see put together Enid.
I like to think that with the Devil Wears Prada 2 looming.
The Devil Wears 2 Prada.
2 Prada.
2 Prada, 2 Furious.
I like to think that this is how Miranda Priestley is.
Yeah. When her like ex-husband or husband that she's having troubles with or whatever shows up.
Yeah. As we know, this is not the last of Enid, nor the first.
Yeah. I can't wait to see this intro. I need to see how we get here too. I need to see competent Enid.
Just you wait.
Okay.
You should be. So then we get Carrie with the cake, and she gets into her car to like, be taken home, like her car service. Hot lady driver. Hello.
Yeah, what was this?
Never seen that before.
Of this character.
Love that.
Is this feels like back in the day. This is going to be really specific. Come with me on this journey. But sometimes on like game show, or maybe it was just America's Next Top Model, I don't know, but they'd be like, as a like reward for winning this challenge, you get a cameo on this random network show, and it'd be like Veronica Mars, you know. It was like they do these random things out in the network world. This feels like a cameo of that, and maybe it's because she looks so beautiful, but that's where my mind went of like, she feels like she won a challenge at America's Next Top Model or Project Runway or something, and then her prize was to like do this weird cameo, because like not only is she like glammed up for a driver, but she's like she's like hella involved in Carrie's life all of a sudden. You know what I mean? This is like a cameo role for a person who I do not know and will never see again.
I know. I'm like, I want to look her up and be like, did she do anything else after this? Because she's so lively.
Yeah. She's so happy to be there.
I will reserve real comments when we get to our Kiss and Tell book at the very end. But just to go through this scene, this driver is the best friend that Carrie has never had. And, you know, Carrie gets in the car and she's like, oh, where are you coming from? And she's like, oh, it was my book party. And then she's like, you wrote a book? That's amazing. Congratulations. And Carrie has the tragic line, you know, where she's like, yeah, it kind of is amazing. And then she was like, why did a stranger need to remind me of that? Yeah, think about that.
Yeah.
Think about that. And then she goes to the driver, take me home. And the woman goes, no, we have to celebrate this. And they go to Grey Papaya and they get hot dogs. And the guys at Grey Papaya are like, oh, you wrote a book? This is on the house. And we get the little pun, you know, who needs a burger when you can get a hot dog?
Cute.
And then she sees.
And then.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's a Joker card.
It's a Joker card.
He's back again, Batman.
And then the car explodes. And the judge was inside.
And the judge. She killed the judge and the driver.
Nestor.
No.
Yeah. So we see the card and, you know, she's reminded. And then we end on the line, you know, sometimes it's knowing that they're out there, you know, like that keeps us going. Something like that.
Yeah. Weird save. Oof. I think that's like the second time in just this episode where she has reached a conclusion and then 10 seconds later changes her mind.
Yep.
Where she does like you know what? This, I wouldn't have it any other way. Except, it'd be nice if it was another way. You know what I mean? Like, she did that a couple times.
That is the Carrie. That is the Carrie, which is like, I'll accept reality. Except when I won't.
Again. Classic Carrie.
Which is never.
Which is never. The denial is the key to her character.
Fundamental.
Mm-hmm. Bargaining. She's constantly in the bargaining stage. Will never leave it.
Never leave. And that is the end of the episode. I want to read from our Kiss and Tell show Bible book because they describe this moment at the end of the episode. So this episode was written by Cindy Shupak, was directed by my assaulter, Michael Patrick King. And Cindy Shupak says of this episode was inspired by my Emmy experience. I didn't have a date for the Emmys the year we won, and I lost all of our Sex and the City people at one point during the night, so I had to walk to my limo alone. I was feeling very -1 until my driver said, you want an Emmy? We have to celebrate this, and took me through a McDonald's drive-thru and told the guys in the window she won an Emmy, and they gave me a free chocolate shake. The limo driver we cast in this episode was very much like the driver I had, although in the episode, Carrie goes to Grey's Papaya, which is more New York, and is actually a favorite place of Sarah Jessica's.
That's cute. That's like the cutest one we've had so far. That's adorable.
I wanted to go to Grey Papayas once because I've never been, and then my boyfriend told me he got diarrhea, so I have yet to go.
I am a Papaya King stan only because that's like near where I grew up. The one that's in the Seinfeld episode, that is the one that is near where I grew up. So I have an allegiance, unfortunately. I have not been to a Grey's Papaya, but I respect.
And that is the episode. We end all our episodes with our high and our low, our rose and our thorn. Emily, what was the negative for you of this episode? What was the diarrhea?
Why they were all being mean to Miranda at the lunch and being like, you should tell him. And then there's no, like you said, there's no like consequences for that. Like they don't come around. That is the stance that the friends are taking. So That's sad. I didn't like that, I guess. What about you?
I mean, for me, it's that Samantha got bullied over the chemical peel.
Yeah.
And in general, that this trope is dead. I miss it.
Yeah.
Bring it back. What was your high? What was your release the Kraken of the episode?
There are quite a few. I did really like this episode. And again, it's like, it's hard with Berger because I hate him, but his moments are really good because he's fun to hate. I think, though, maybe this is lame, but I think my high of the episode, honestly, is her being like, she wrote a book, and then the guy being like, on the house. I don't know, there's just something so, like, offhandedly nice about that. And maybe I'm just like, I'm a wounded animal. I'm like so used to like side characters in Michael Patrick King's universe being horrible people. But I was just like, yay, real people on this show. It was such a like warm, lovely moment. And now that you've shared that thing with us, we know that that was real. So
yeah, the driver is really great. Again, that it's like connecting with a real person in the city that's giving these characters perspective for once.
Yes.
I mean, I also
100%.
think it does say something that she is a person of color. You know, it's like she's able to appreciate the fact that this woman published a book, whereas Carrie's like, I'm gonna die alone. I'm lonely. And it's like
Carrie's like, I'm lonely. And also remember told her publisher friend, I don't know if this book is a good idea. Do you think it's a good idea? Okay. Anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's also my high. I mean, if I had to pick something else, I would say, I guess, I don't know. I walked away from this episode being like, I really like this episode. I think overall what I like about it is what I said at the beginning, which is like, there's just this like feeling of whimsy. Like the way that things are shot, I think Sarah Jessica looks really good. Like I would say that's my overall high is like, this is a rare episode where the overall vibe is really working for me. The tonal vibe that they're going for is hitting. Well, that's the episode. If you want more, we got more. Okay, we got the girls in Baldur's Gate. We got a Patreon coming up with some bonus content in February. If you want to see that, sign up now. What else? You could harass me personally on marina.di.nyc. I can't even say my own handle. You could, I don't know, watch this episode on a loop forever until you realize that all your friends are bad. I don't wish that for you, but you could do that. And we'll see you here next Wednesday. Bye.